Old cars aren't unreliable, they're just neglected. Old cars and new cars are more alike than they're different. Here's why. Most people fix the symptoms, not the root cause. Reliability is a standard that you build and maintain, not just something you buy. We get told that old cars are unreliable, but the truth is that a fuel injector gets clogged and gummed up with the same crappy gas that a carburetor jet does. A weak fuel pump or a plugged fuel filter is still going to cause the same kind of crappy running characteristics, whether it's a 1985, a 2005, or even newer than that. It doesn't matter if it's one of the little fuel filters that goes in the inlet to the carburetor, or a fuel filter that sits along the frame rail in line from the fuel pump. Both of them are going to have the same impact on drivability. The difference is that a new car has limp mode and it might throw a check engine light, whereas the older car is just going to run poorly. An old car doesn't need some overcomplicated sensor or computer to tell you something's wrong. You just have to listen. It'll tell you everything you need to know through its performance. Linkages can get a little sticky and cause some funny problems. A drive-by-wire pedal assembly may have something weird going on and it's not returning to its lowest value and bring the throttle all the way closed. A new car will tell you there's a miss with a random misfire code. An old car, you'll feel it, a slight in the cadence of the engine. So you can see that these machines, new or old, really aren't that different. One takes a computer to talk to, the other you have to have a conversation with. So both of these give you symptoms, but if you don't fix the root cause, it eventually gets worse. New cars and old cars both rely on their electrical systems. Granted, one way more so than the other, but they typically all share a very common failure point: bad grounds. And it doesn't matter whether that ground is running the ignition system on my El Camino, grounding the whole block and keeping everything going together, or just a basic chassis ground at the firewall to the engine on my Regal, or running the airbag circuit on a vehicle like my Yukon. It doesn't matter. A bad ground can bring all of these to their knees. And you know something? I've fixed grounds on every one of my vehicles. My El Camino, my Regal, my Yukon. I've fixed grounds on all of them. Corrosion doesn't care how new your vehicle is. If it's getting run through adverse conditions, bad things are going to happen. A crappy or corroded battery cable will make it crank slow, no matter what vehicle it's on. These are all things that can affect every vehicle. See, in fixing the symptom, like it cranks slow, I'm going to put a new starter at it, that's costly, when that may not be the solution to the problem. I don't know how many times I've heard guys say they throw electrical parts at things and it doesn't fix the problem. That's because they didn't fix the root cause. They just treated the symptom. It doesn't matter. Old car, new car, a crappy connection will ruin your day. Heck, I went 10 rounds with the turn signals on my El Camino, and it turned out to be a poor connection at the fuse block. Those kinds of things are not unusual to new cars and old cars.
We all know that to change the oil keeps the engine lasting forever. But what about the fluids that you don't change regularly or get forgotten about for years on end? What about the fluids like the rear differential fluid or the ATF or the coolant or the brake fluid? Brake fluid is hygroscopic. I have to say that right. It means it absorbs water. And if you don't take care of that regularly, it gets water in the system, brake lines rust out, brake pedal gets spongy. Safety. With the rear differential oil, I mean, heck, this is a 1985. I've never changed the rear differential oil in this car for the entire time I've had it, more than 20 years. But those rear wheel bearings, those axle bearings, they need grease, they need to stay working, and let's face it, doing axle bearings and stuff is pretty low on the list of things we actually enjoy doing. But if you take care of those fluids, then you're probably buying yourself another 20 years of lifespan out of those things.
So I mean, sure, there's systems that go bad, water pumps fail, things with bearings tend to go bad eventually. Alternators fail, water pumps fail, gaskets degrade over time. But the point is that if you properly maintain your stuff, it's going to last a lot longer and be a lot more reliable because of it. And someone's going to ask, shouldn't you be putting high zinc oil in that thing? Well, yes, but this cam doesn't have enough spring pressure to hurt a thing. So it's got over 200,000 miles. I'm not worried right now. But yes, if you have an engine that's actually worth keeping around and saving, you should be running an oil that has a lot more zinc to keep the cam happy, all those wear points. So the fluids you use are also important too. Am I using the right fluid here? Not really. But does it matter? Also not really. Besides, what's the worst that happens? The 3.8 dies and I put a small block or an LS in it? Darn. Speaking of other forgotten fluids, my power steering pump's been screaming at me for a little bit. And I can see why. That is not a good sign. So it makes you wonder if all those fluids and things that haven't been touched in 20 years, maybe this is why cars become at least a little bit less reliable over time, because these things haven't been addressed. Take care of those things, and it'll take care of you. Reliability isn't just something that just happens. You have to maintain it. You have to build it. And you can take care of all that in your own garage. And if you fix all those ghosts before they become corpses, all these cars will outlast everything on the road today. At this point, they kind of already have. And if you found a mystery in your engine bay, drop a comment below. Let's solve it together. If you want to see how I've solved the ghosts in that machine, take a look at this video over here. Thanks for watching.